Good morning, and welcome to the start of our week. We're back into it. It's Monday, and it's 8:45 to 9 a.m. And you're here this morning with Martin Baillie, your business coach. And what we're talking about on this, our lives, is all about mindset. And this book today is all about change. Change. Is change a good thing or a bad thing? Is it positive? Is it negative? How does our mindset be affected by change? How do we get ourselves through change? What is change? Do we know? As I said, look, we're here 8:45 to 9 a.m. Monday to Thursday every week. Please join us. Get in the chat box. Say good morning. Tell us what you think about change. Share your thoughts. Let's know you're there. I can't see you there, so get into the chat box and let me know you're there. And like and share. Get the likes going. Let's get the shares going. Get those love hearts going out there. Let's get this community building. As I said, we're on this one this morning. Subject today is change. I'm not doing a week-long subject this week. We're going to be into individual subjects each day, but today is all about change. Change. Have you ever been through change? Of course you have. How did you feel about it? Can you remember? Did you understand it? Change. Is it positive? Is it negative? Who knows? But anyway, the reason I'm talking about change today is quite simply because I was at the end of last week, I was facilitating a business and their team at a session, and interestingly, we got round to the subject of change, and they were starting to share with me some of the feelings and the thoughts and the emotions they went through or they go through, because they're in a business that changes quickly and is always changing. So they're struggling, or they have been struggling to deal with the change, because there's a number of things that change does. For instance, change creates fear. It creates anxiety. It creates uncertainty. It creates a low mood, low self-esteem. It does all those things. And unless you really understand it, then it causes a lot of anxiety. It causes a lot of stress. But why? Why does it do all those things? Well, I've just said a minute ago, it does all those things because we do not understand. We don't understand normally the emotions we're going through. We don't understand the journey that change is taking us on. And that therefore creates the stress and the anxiety and the low self-esteem and the whole range of emotions that you go through when there's a change. Now, just reflect back. I'm sure you've broken up with a girlfriend when you were younger, or you lost a pet, or you had to leave your sports team, but you love playing for them. That's all change. Can you remember how you felt? Can you remember the emotions you went through at that time? If you lost a job potentially, or you didn't get the job that you wanted. That's all change. Just think for a minute. What were the emotions that you went through? If you got anyone you want to share, get them into the chat box. Share them. Get the chat box. Let me know some of the emotions you went through, because it's really important that once you understand the change and the journey change takes you on, it's so much more easier to deal with. So much more easier to deal with. And the whole reason for that is because we create coping strategies. And it's only until you understand that journey can you make or you create coping strategies. Now, as I said, a lot of people don't understand the journey they're on. They're just going through the journey. They get to a point with a low self-esteem. They don't understand why they've got that low self-esteem, and it takes them quite a while to come back out of that place. So understanding this journey is really important, because not just in life, but in business. Because in business, it's the same. In business, you get rejections. You have to change direction. You've got to change your plans. Something happens like COVID, for goodness sake. You've got to make changes, and that's all change, and it all drives that same emotion, that same feeling throughout. So look, let's look at change in a bit deeper today. So there's 4 key stages of change. The first stage is status quo. And there's three main things happen at that point. One is there's an ending of something. So that might be you're no longer playing for your sports team. It may be that you've lost an employee that you rated highly. It may be that your relationship broken out. It could be a number of different things. But there's an ending. And then once you get to the ending, the next stage within status quo is you live in denial. You still don't think it's over. You still think you keep on thinking. You still think the employee is going to come back. They wouldn't have left them. They'll be back. They'll be back next week. All those thoughts go through your head. And then the third part in the status quo is shock. And that shock happens when there's all of a sudden realization that this has happened. And every person goes through those three thoughts and feelings during the first stage of change. Now, once the shock happens, you then move into stage 2 of change, and that is disruption. Now, there's a number of really strong emotions in the disruption stage of change, and the first emotion is fear. Now, I think I've talked about fear quite a lot of times before. False expectations appearing real, flee everything and run, face everything and rise. All those acronyms around fear. Yeah. So the first thing is fear. You're frightened now because you don't understand. You thought things were fine, all of a sudden they're not. It's changed. Don't like this feeling. That fear then progresses into anger. Why have they gone? Why am I not playing for the sports team anymore? Why did I not get that job I was going after? That fear, that real anger and fear start to permeate within you, inside. And then it moves to frustration. I don't like feeling like this. I really don't like feeling like this. And this disruption phase, this is where the chimp, remember the chimp, I've talked about the chimp in one of our previous lives. The chimp, the limbic brain, if not, managed, takes control. And this whole feeling, this whole fear, anger, frustration thing can be amplified tenfold if the chimp's not managed and fed and looked after. It can really go nuts. Now, depending how quickly you manage your chimp will depend how long you stay in disruption. Because that's the lowest point of the change curve is disruption. And the longer you stay there, the more fear, anger, and frustration you're going to feel. So when you're going through change, the best plan to have is to get out of disruption as quickly as you can. Now, that sounds really easy, but it's not as easy as I make it sound. Once you're through disruption, you're coming out the other end, you're moving into exploration. Now, exploration is where you start getting these real nice emotions happening, and then the thoughts happening. Creativity steps in. Accepting some of your situation, but okay, that's done. Can't do anything about it now. Got to move on. Yeah. And then hope and enthusiasm start to kick in. It's like, okay, I can see light at the end of the tunnel now. And I'm getting excited about this. And those emotions start to take you, start to lift you back up out of the curve, back up the other end. And then you come to stage 4. And stage 4 is the building part of change curve. You're out the curve, you're coming up on the way, and there's 2 main things about building, and that is commitment. You're now committed to your future progress. You're now committed to your future. You're now committed to whatever it is that you're planning on doing, and ultimately the new beginning. So that's the whole journey through a change curve, the fear, the emotions, all the stuff that you're going to feel. Now, understanding that is absolutely crucial, because the more you understand that, the more you can go, oh, well, okay, do you know what? I'm on my way down to the curve. I know there's been change. I know what's coming. I know I'm going to feel fear, anger, and that frustration. I know I need to manage that. Right, okay, I'm ready for it. Let's manage it. The quicker you manage that will be the quicker you get back out of disruption and out the other end. Now, with everything in business and in life, yeah, change is a positive thing. It's important you embrace change and don't look upon change as being negative. It's important that we embrace change, because change normally 9 times out of 10 takes us forward into new beginnings. And those new beginnings can be very, very positive new beginnings. So what I want to leave you with today is this. Just think about this. Yeah. If you're not changing, you're not growing. Just think about that for a second. Just think about that. Now, as I said, we're here Monday to Thursday, 8:45 to 9 every single week. So drop your thoughts in the chat box about that question I've just asked you. Just think about that. If you're not changing, you're not growing. I'm going to see you tomorrow. Have a great day. I hope that set your week off in a nice manner around change. I bet there's some change coming this week. Be ready for it. I'll see you tomorrow morning. Have a good smash today out the park, team. See you later. Bye.